Alright. Shabbat Shalom, Mashpachar, and all Israel strangers alike. We give all praises to the Most High, AHAYAH, Yashaya, in the name of wisdom, the Holy Spirit, the RaWach. Just happy to be here today. About to do this lesson. Brother RaWach would be right next to me, but he's like, feeling under the weather a little bit. So, we're gonna have my brother Qahal. He's gonna do the reading. He wasn't able to make it down today, so I'm rolling solo far as on the film, but the brother's on the line and stuff. So he's gonna bring it from there. He's gonna be the reader from there. Just thanking us how that he's able to give me one more day of rest and be able to bring forth some understanding and some edification and lesson. Okay. So today's lesson is going to be one of the controversial subjects out there, and hopefully we can bring some understanding. And, mostly of Israelites who pretty much understand this. And of course, we're going to have a lot of people that don't understand where Israel may run across these understandings and these concepts for the first time. So, it's good anyway. So, we're going to go through it and see if this makes any kind of sense. So the title of this lesson is, which is a controversial lesson, Does Black Lives Matter? Okay. Does Black Lives Matter? So this has been a campaign for years in this earth about black lives. Okay, and you got to ask your question. It's like, okay, does Black Lives Matter? Does anybody really have issue with black people? Okay, is that really a problem out in the world? Okay, and if you think about it, it really does. This whole issue with racism, persecution, all this stuff has absolutely nothing to do with black and white. What we call that is a distraction. It's a major, major distraction. And it's the have you thinking this over here on the left side while they're destroying you over here on the right side. So they got people running around thinking that this is a battle between black and white. That's the furthest thing that it's from. So when this campaign that's running around about Black Lives Matter is absolutely appalling to me to even see my people out there pushing that ideology, because it's not even real. Okay, because the so-called people on the earth that are white don't have a so-called issue with people that are black just for being black. It has nothing to do with it. In their spirit, it doesn't have anything to do with it whatsoever. Okay, now the people that controls the minds of people, which we still call the Jedi mind trick, they have people thinking that the issues of tension and everything, and the killing and the shootings and all the false flag things going on is a black and white thing. But it's not. And we're going to show you, just a little bit about how the sorcery works about this Black Lives Matter. I'm just giving you two concepts that I want you to think about real quick, because I want to make sure this gets out. And hopefully, because this may be a little bit longer than I really want it to be, so we might have to break this lesson up into two parts. But just want to get these two concepts. If so-called white people have a so-called issue with people that are black skin, and they're out there persecuting and shooting people that are black because they do not like black people, why is it, have you ever seen these people from India, the Indian? They are just as dark as the so-called African Americans in America. So if they have issues with dark-skinned black people, why aren't you're not seeing any of them being shot and shooting? Or anything have issues with them because they're black? because they're darker than most people that we so-called African Americans. So this issue with black, why don't you see anything happening with them? Think about that one. Next thing is it's sorcery, okay? Because our people, black one is not even a race; it's a color. Black is a color. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Because to tell you, a lot of you people out there, a lot of you people are not black. A lot of you people are brown. That's the color that you are. But they got us programmed to think because you come from a certain lineage that they can title you a color that does not even exist. All right? Now, a lot of you brown people, they got you thinking that you're black. You may have your father, you think you're black. Oh, my father is black, so I'm black. Well, your father may be dark-skinned. Then you might have a light-skinned mother or a white mother or whatever the case may be, and you're out brown. You're not black, you're brown. That's your color, okay? But they got you to think that you're black. I've seen even people who are dang near white, yellow face or even white, claim that they're black. That's the program that these people have put us under. That's the sorcery, the Jedi mind trick, that really make you think that you are black and your color. A lot of you don't have not 1 ounce of black in you, as far as color is concerned. All right, so now they got everybody campaigning around this thing called Black Lives Matter, and you got white-looking people, brown people, yellow people running around calling themselves black, and running behind this Black Lives Matter, and when they're not even black at all. Because your forefather was black doesn't mean you're black, because I can obviously look at you and tell you you're not black. Okay, so why am I bringing this out? Because this distracts everyone, and you get everyone with the real true issue that's out there. So we really have to debunk this black thing. As Black Lives Matter, okay? Because we can't get caught up in that atrocious statement, Black Lives Matter, because now that takes us away with the real issue and what the real problem is. So now today, what we're going to do, we are going to address the real issue and the real problem that's out there. It has nothing to do with black or white, because believe it or not, everyone on this earth has quote-unquote black ancestry. So most of these people, especially at the top, they don't have an issue with the color black. Okay. So with that being said, let's get started. All right. And you got a lot of Christians that's out there that walk around with the Bible, and they cannot justify in their mind through the scriptures why these people have a so-called issue with black people. It does not exist. They don't have an issue with black people, okay? And we're going to show that in a minute. All right, so we're going to start off with Isaiah 34 and 16. All right? So we're going to run down the line and show you exactly where this issue really lies with all this stuff out there, because we're not supposed to be getting caught up in these campaigns. These campaigns is to set us up to get destroyed. If you get caught up in these Black Lives Matter campaigns and run around thinking that, and you're a brown person thinking you're black, running around on this, you're going to end up getting yourself in a situation that you wish you had never got into. So we're just trying to encourage you, to stay away from that madness, because all it is a setup, okay? So go ahead out. You there?
Oh, Salaki. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Salaki. All right, so this is Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read.
Stop right there. It says, seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. So everybody on this earth, man, this is a major aim at you people out there who think you're black, or the people that are as close to the people that are black, or who have black ancestries, so-called black ancestries, which we know black goes all the way back to the garden. He said, seek ye out of the book. So you got to seek yourself out of this book and read. That's what the instruction is about. That's a commandment. If you want to understand what's going on in the world today and what's happened in the past and how it applies to you right now, he said, seek ye yourself out of the book of the Lord and read. Okay, so until you do that, you are going to get caught up in their propaganda, and you're going to run around being brown, yellow, white with black, with a black father talking about you're black, and when you obviously aren't black. Okay, go ahead.
No one of these shall fail. Mm-hmm. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
Okay, go to Job 8:8. Job 8:8. So seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. It's a commandment. Okay, you are not going to understand this Bible. You are not going to understand the world around you unless you seek yourself out of the book of the Lord and read. Okay? Until you do that, you're going to be subjected to your oppressors. Your oppressors are going to tell you everything, and you're going to roll with it. Okay? All right, go ahead. Job 8:8.
This is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
You need to prepare the search of your fathers. So it's going to explain exactly why your condition is in the manner that it is. Go ahead.
Verse 9. For we are but of yesterday, and know nothing, because our days upon earth are a shadow.
See, we don't know nothing about our past. Okay, we know we came over here as slaves, and our oppressors have educated us on the way that they want us to think. And then they told us, oh, it don't matter who you are. You know, they told you who you are. How many times that so-called black people's nationality on paper has changed? Okay, you went from Negro to the nigger to colored to Afro-American to colored African-American. You know, black. All these things. You know, they trying to figure out what they want to call you. And you've accepted everything along the way. So obviously, if they didn't have an idea of what to call you, you were something before you were called all those things. Okay? Because you know nothing about your fathers. You're running around saying Black Lives Matter when they're going around persecuting what it appears to be black people in the street. Okay? And that is totally false. All right? So let's go to Isaiah 45 and 17. Okay? You got to search for your fathers, your forefathers. And your forefathers is contained here. That's a commandment out of the Bible. So for you Christians that say it's not about you, it's not about us, it's all about Jesus and all that other stuff. The Bible gives you a command. And Christ said he has not come to destroy the law or the prophet. He's not come to destroy but fulfill. So Isaiah is telling you, you must search for your fathers. That's the only way you're going to understand where you've been, where you're at now, and what's going to happen in the future. Because evidently you've been lied to. Okay? And the truth is here in the scriptures. Go ahead, on.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
Okay, so the Bible's talking about Israel should be saved in the Lord. And you should not be ashamed or confounded, because you are a world in itself. Now, where's this ashamed thing? Our next scripture is going to be Hebrews 10 and 7. It's so funny when so-called black people want to find out who they are, it's an issue with everybody, even within black people. It's okay for the Asians to know who they are. It's okay for, the Europeans to know who they are. Everybody around the world is able to know who they are. Even our other Israelite brothers and sisters in ignorance who think they are what they are, but they're not, but at least they are gravitating to something that they think they are. We obviously know we don't know who we are, and it's a problem. As soon as we start trying to figure out who we are, everybody has an issue with it, especially the ones that are in this Bible. They say, oh, it doesn't matter who you are. Everything's about Christ because we're nothing. And that's wrong. Okay? Because we are a spectacle on this universe of so-called black people. Okay? And I say so-called because this is how most of you guys out there identify as that, black, which is incorrect. All right? So let's go to Hebrews 10 and 7.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me, to do thy will, O AHAYAH.
All right, so Yashaya says he comes in the volume of the book of Christ. For you people out there that, don't know on the Dead Sea Scrolls, his name was Yashaya and stuff. Christ comes in the volume of the book. So you cannot say anything in this Bible is, okay, we're in the New Testament now. All things in the Old Testament is irrelevant because Christ died on the cross. That is false and irrelevant because the very first event that happened to mankind we still deal with, which was the sin of Adam and Eve. Sin and death still happens today. Once death stops, then you can start moving what is old and no more relevant and what is relevant moving forward. But as long as we're dealing with sin and death, you cannot say the Old Testament is irrelevant. So Christ says, I come in the volume of the book. So anything from Genesis to Revelation, we must study and understand what's going on and what has been going on with us as so-called black people, and why are we getting persecuted, and why is the persecution going to get stronger and stronger as time goes on. Okay? We must understand it, and why we are not, as a people, black as a race. There's no such thing, okay, as a race of black people. There's a race of people that are black, but black is not a race. All right? So let's go to Hosea 7 and 8. And so we can get an understanding who it is. Now, when we go to that scripture, Isaiah 45 and 7, yes, we are to identify ourselves as the children of Israel. Okay, so-called black people, and, of course, we got other tribes outside of what most people call blacks and stuff that's here in these lands called America. But, we're just dealing with this Black Lives Matter issue right now. Okay? So let's go to Hosea 7 and 8.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 7 and verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
All right, so Ephraim, which we know is Joseph's second son, who inherited the birthright of Jacob. Okay, Ephraim, the northern kingdom. He's the king of the northern kingdom. Okay, he said Ephraim is mixed himself amongst the nations. There's many reasons why the children of Israel comes in different colors. He said he's like a cake not turned. Okay, all right. So this is out here for you vagabond Jews that like to vex people out there on the streets, not knowing whether they're Israel or not. Common sense. We'll just start with the pancake. If you cook the pancake, all right, and right before you flip it, because it says it's a cake not turned, right before you flip the pancake, we understand the pancake is either going to be brown or some kind of dark color. And the top of the pancake is going to be what? Creamy white. Okay, so the Bible is telling you right here that Ephraim is an array of colors. That's not an extension of Judah. Think about your old families. We've been mixing for a while now, so-called black people. Okay, a lot of people we know in the hood that they father's father is black, and a lot of them look like they white, and you can't even tell that they black. But you sit up and say, "Oh man, yeah, he's black. His father's yellow, and he's, dang near white, but he's black because his father's black. It's the same thing. That's the same thing the Bible's saying. Because of the mixing, you're not going to know who Israel is. And it's more than just the mixing itself. But we understand that right now, Israel has been mixed amongst the people. All right? So let's go to Daniel -7. Right then again is showing you the children of Israel, which started off as a dark-skinned people, they are no longer exclusively a dark-skinned people. Okay? Go ahead. Are you there, huh?
Yes, I like it.
Showing you children of Israel, which started off as a dark-skinned. Go ahead, Daniel -7.
All right, this is the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 7. O AHAYAH, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces, as it is this day. To the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass that they have trespassed against thee.
All right, stop right there for a minute. So, right there, the scripture's telling you, that there's a confusion of faces because of the trespass that our forefathers did, back in that day. Okay? There's a reason. It's one, he's going to show you one of them, of the punishment. But there's another reason behind it. But go ahead.
Verse 8. O AHAYAH, to us belongeth confusion of face, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, because we have sinned against thee. To the Most High our power belong mercies and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him.
Okay, so our next scripture is going to be Luke 4:27. So there's a confusion of faces. Why is there a confusion of faces? Okay, our forefathers sinned against the Most High, so now we got sent off in the way, got kicked out of the Holy Land. Now, we have to deal with the other, when it was not permitted in our law to mix with the other nations. Now the other nations have mixed their blood with our blood. Okay, so now the same features that all Israel used to have in that day, now since we've mixed amongst the people, now we've taken on different looks of the other nations. But see, it's only not it was a curse, it also was a blessing in disguise. Okay, it's confusing the faces. We're going to get to the conspiracy. Okay, it's not just done because, we're just going to punish you, just like he didn't just punish Eve in the garden for a sin and say, the man's going to rule over you, and that's just a punishment. It was also a blessing as well. Why is there confusion of faces? Because we are at the mercy of our enemies right now. Okay? And if some enemies out there exactly could pick out all the Israelites just by sight alone, would be easy target for destruction. So we had to be mixed amongst them. Now it hides our identity. Who all is Israel right now? And it's making it tough for the nations who wants to destroy the Israelites to be able to pick all of us off. Because, you might pick off this group over here that may look like Israel, but then there's another group that got the Israelite blood in them, but they don't look like Israel. Because that ultimately protects us who actually got more of the Israelite features than the ones that's been mixed. So you guys are out there. That's about Jews. That's out there vexing people that you think don't look like Israel. You just remember that. You remember that these people are protecting your butt from being just totally annihilated, because now the people that really want to come after Israel altogether can't really just come at us because they don't really know who all Israel is right now, unless they do all these extreme measures to figure out, like these DNA tests, blood tests, urine tests, all these things to figure out, okay, who are Israelites? Who got this strand? Or these things like that. So here they can't just see by sight. So you just remember that. The Most High is even protecting you through your curse, and you don't even realize it. Okay? So Luke 4:27.
All right, this is the book of St. Luke, chapter 4, and verse 27. And many lepers were in Israel in the time of Eliseus, the prophet, and none of them was cleansed, saving Naaman the Syrian.
All right, so also, not only, all right, the next scripture that we're going to go through, the Slakia, for this, I forgot to explain that we're going into the book of Josephus. Next scripture is going to come out of the book of Josephus. And make sure you have your apocryphers ready as well, because we're going to go into scripture out of apocrypha. So if you don't have your book of Josephus, you may want to grab it right now, or if you need to pull it up on your computer, you may want to do that as well. But what I was going to say is that's another thing that happened within Israel, the curse of leprosy. All right? So not only that we mix with the nations, we got a curse of leprosy. If you go back to the old Levitical laws with the curse of leprosy, you not only had people with botched skin all over their body, but then there was also people that would turn pale white, which was called a clean leper. Today, they try to hide what the Bible calls it, because the Bible calls it a clean leopard, but today they call them albinos. Okay? All right, that's just changing what the Most High had told us. All those albinos are, they're clean leopards. That's all they are, according to the scriptures. All right? So you got a lot of Israelites that are white through race mixing, Cape Nocturne, plus they're albinos, or clean lepers. All right? And that leprosy ran rampant through Israel. Okay? And this is a key scripture as well, because this is a scripture that we're about to go into in Josephus that I've been looking for. I've asked my predecessors, and I never got an answer on this, and this is really key. And I finally ran into this scripture to find out, certain, things that I need to know because of my challenges that I had on the streets. So if we go to the Antiquities of the Jews, into Josephus, book 3, chapter 11, verse 4. Okay? Once again, the Antiquities of the Jews, book 3, chapter 11, verse 4. Okay, for you guys out there that don't know who Josephus is, he's a Roman Israelite, Roman citizen, historian. Just more of our record. He did a lot of recording of our records. He goes into a lot of the details about the Bible that the Bible doesn't go to. The Bible covers certain things, and then Josephus covers it like in more detail, like other books, like Yashaya does the same thing for some in the Old Testament as well. So Josephus is a real good book and stuff. So I found something interesting in here because this is a question, like I said before, I asked my predecessors, and I didn't get an answer. And this is very key because of my understanding, because it really narrows us back down to what the Most High said, how you're going to be able to identify Israel. Okay, so you want to get that up?
God.
Go ahead.
All right. Once again, this is Antiquities of the Jews, book 3, chapter 11, and verse 4.
Start at sentence 266. I don't want to read all that up at the top because that's really not. We want to actually start from 265. Go ahead.
Okay.
Read it.
One cannot but smile at those who say that Moses was himself afflicted with the leprosy when he fled out of Egypt, and that he became the leader of those who on that account left that country and led them into the land of Canaan. For had this been true, Moses would not have made these laws to his own dishonor, which indeed it was more likely he would have opposed if others had tried to introduce them. And this the rather because there are lepers in many nations.
Stop right there. That's good. That's exactly what I want you to read. That is key. So my whole thing for this whole time is how did the other, because the Bible talks about leprosy in the lands of Canaan when the Israelites got there. And I've asked and I've waited for years, about 3 years, to get an answer. Because I got challenged on the streets behind this. You know, the incident on the streets, and I'm uttering something that I was taught. That's what the Bible says, study to show thyself approved, that I was taught, and I couldn't fulfill an answer because what I was taught, I could not prove. And one of the answers is, where did the other nations get their color from? So they were struck, many nations got struck with leprosy. So it wasn't just in the land of Canaan or amongst the Israelites. It was over the whole earth. Still, once again, showing that all these people around the earth were black. So do they have a problem with black people? Absolutely not, because in their old genealogy they were black. Okay? Going all the way back. Okay? So that's just one more confirmation. That's a key one for me, because that takes me to a whole different level of understanding the things around me. And hopefully it does that for some of you. But yeah, not just Israel or the lands of Canaan, but that was, leprosy was over the whole, many nations got struck with that. Okay? So you only identify Israel through the curses. All right, so with that being said, let's go to Deuteronomy 28:1.
All right, brothers and sisters, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Okay, let's drop down to verse 15.
All right, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Okay, so next scripture is Daniel 9 and 11. So, our children of Israel, we had a choice. Okay, it was part of our agreement, it's part of our contract, it's part of our covenant. Either you're going to become the most blessed people on the face of the earth, or you're going to become a cursed people. That was our choice. That was the choices that was given for our forefathers. Blessed or cursed. Take your pick. You do what I say, you're going to be blessed. You don't do what I say, you're going to be cursed. So let's see what our forefathers chose. Daniel 9 and 11.
All right, we're in the book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of AHAYAH, because we have sinned against him.
So, now, the children of Israel have sinned against the Most High. So, the Most High, because your forefathers, our forefathers, broke the covenant, the agreement, to the first part. So, automatically, what comes in is the second part. That was the agreement. So, we have become a cursed people. All right? So, we have to deal with the curses, because that's what we're dealing with right now, because that's what our forefathers chose. So, this Black Lives Matter, okay, you got to get rid of that right now. Let's deal with curses now that's upon the children of Israel, and let's see if you can identify with these curses. All right, so let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 25. So we cannot have a chip. We cannot have a chip on our shoulder. We cannot have a chip on our shoulder, because this is a choice that our forefathers made. We cannot blame nobody. Okay, we understand that there was something put before them to do to us, and they took it too far. But still, case in point, we have the power to come back. and we're going to go through that. But go ahead. Deuteronomy 28:25.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 25. The Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
So Moses said, the Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before your enemies. So all those events in the past, stop reading their history, because their history is bogus anyway. Start reading the Bible and see what happened. And it'll bring more peace and comfort, because this happened because the Most High caused you to be smitten by your enemies and then being removed into all the kingdoms around the earth. That's where the Israelites are right now. Go to Luke 21 and 24. All right? Because our forefathers sinned and went away from the law. And guess who's teaching us in these churches today not to keep the law? All right? Our theologians are from our enemies, teaching our pastors that the law is done away with. Go figure. Why? Because they know if you don't keep the law, what's going to happen? The Lord is going to cause you to be smitten. And we are hook, line, and sinker, and we don't keep the law because we'll be the first ones to say the law is done away with. You know, it's easy. We just can live however we want to live. When the Most High said emphatically, if we keep the law, we're going to be blessed above everybody. If we don't, we're going to be cursed. So we can keep perpetuating the curses by listening to our enemies. All right. So now, Luke 21 and 24. This is Yashaya, our Christ, our Lord and Savior, backing up what Moses just said.
All right, we're in the book of St. Luke, chapter 21 and verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Okay, next is Joel 3 and 1. Joel 3 and 1. All right, so Christ even said that we're going to fall by the edge of the sword. So a lot of our people are going to get killed, and then we're going to be led away captive into all nations around the earth as slaves because of the choices that we made. So we can't blame the other nation. Slavery, that's out. That's done. Okay, you want to sit around with that chip on your shoulder and start, vexing them. Oh, well, all they did to us, and this is coming down from your God. Your God did this to you because of the sins of your forefathers, because your forefathers broke the contract. Okay, so stop blaming the other nation. Okay, get over it. All right, there's a way around all this now, but get over it. This Black Lives Matter stuff got to stop amongst Israel. Okay, that stuff is going to end up getting you destroyed if you continue down that line, especially if you're hardcore with it. All right, so Joel 3 and 1.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
All right, drop down to verse 6.
Verse 6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
So as we know, we were sold, and we was moved far from our borders. Of course, the borders that we held at that time was the borders of Africa, but we can identify with this because we was even removed out of Jerusalem, and that's how we got into Africa, because we had fled into Africa, fleeing from the face of the serpent. Of course, as we've said in past videos, why? Because the serpent wants to destroy us right along with the rest of the world. Why? Because we are their judges. Okay? We are going to be judging the world and angels. So we pretty much us, so-called African Americans or so-called black people or other Israelites that I've not mentioned, no disrespect. I love all my Israelite tribes and stuff. We got the deck stacked against us. We got to walk a straight and narrow because everything is against us, because everything is riding on us. Okay? It has nothing to do with black. You cannot show one scripture in the Bible about anybody having an issue with one another just strictly on color alone. It does. I haven't read it. Okay, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist, but if it does exist, email the person's scatter sheet, bring out the precept. I'd love to learn it. I am not far beyond learning. Love to learn. If you can see a black and white issue in the Bible. Okay? So let's go to Lamentations 11, 2 to 8. And who knows better than the Most High to tell you what the real issue is? Okay?
All right, this is the book of Lamentations. Once again, that's the book of Lamentations, chapter 2 and verse 8. The Most High hath proposed to destroy the wall of the daughter of Zion. He hath stretched out a line. He hath not withdrawn his hand from destroying. Therefore he made the rampart and the wall to lament. They languish together. Verse 9. Her gates are sunk into the ground. He hath destroyed and broken her bars. Her king and her princes are among the Gentiles. The law is no more. Her prophets also find no vision from the Most High.
Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 2 and 14 is next. All right, so you're seeing right here that the Most High is doing all of this to us. He said he's destroying our walls, he's destroying this, he's destroying that. Everything that he blessed us with, he destroyed it all. Because we didn't appreciate it. We had everything. Just for being born Israel, we had everything given to us on a silver platter, and we just rejected it all, didn't want to keep the covenant. Okay, so the Most High started destroying everything. And then he put us amongst these Gentiles. Okay? So when you want to know what the real problem is, you need to check the source of where this problem is. Okay? The problem is what our forefathers done and where we're at now and how we're going to be able to survive through the next phase of things. All right? So Yashaya 2 and 14.
All right, brothers and sisters, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
All right, so right now we know Israel, we went into slavery. Most High said he's going to remove us into captivity all over earth, so we know that connects with us so-called black people here in America. Okay? He says, is he a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why are we in this condition? That's why this is the things that you got to understand. Why are we in this condition? All right? Let's go to Leviticus 26 and 17. So when we're talking about going out there protesting and rioting, because these things are coming. These things are coming. Protesting in the street. I mean, they've been going on already, but they're going to ramp up. Okay? This is a call to you so-called black people who are Israelites. Do not participate in that madness. All that's going to do is he's going to land you up in a situation that you don't want to be in the future. Okay? Because when they talk about Black Lives Matter, they're trying to rouse you up. And we're going to get to that in a minute. All right, go ahead.
Leviticus 17. Leviticus 26, verse 17. And I will set my face against you, and you shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and you shall flee when none pursueth you.
The Most High put us under a people. Now, next one is Genesis 27 and 41. The Most High put us under people that hate us. Okay, you don't want to be blessed? You don't want to follow my direction? Okay, I'll put you under a bunch of people that hate you. And they're going to be your rulers when you was only supposed to be ruled by the throne. Well, this is to teach you a lesson, Israel. Okay, all you in those Christian churches that say the law is done away with, this is to teach you a lesson to come back to his laws. This is all this is about. So running around pleading, you can't even plead with these people about, begging them for justice and peace and all that. No justice, no peace, all that. You can't even go to these people. One, they hate you, okay? And they want to destroy you, openly. So there's only one way out of this. There's only one way out, okay? And the Most High set it up that way. You're going to be begging once you get the understanding what you're dealing with. And begging, pleading, rioting, picketing, marching, all that stuff is nonsense for the children of Israel. We don't need to be involved in none of that because that's going to do us no good. Having rallies and all that other stuff, only thing you need to do is study to show thyself approved and operate based on what you find out. Get 2 or 3 brothers, you know, Yashaya be in the mix, and learn this gospel. That's what you do. All right? All right, so now we're going to show you the hatred. So let's go to Genesis 27:41.
All right, we're in the book of Genesis chapter 27 and verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob.
So this is a generational decree. This ain't just between the 2 brothers, they did not kill each other. Okay, one of them pastor says, I don't know, it said something about one of them shot with an arrow or whatever, but, you know, Jacob and Esau, they made up. Those 2 made up. So this is a generational thing. The descendants of Esau is got a decree in their spirit to kill the descendants of Jacob. That's that hatred that the Most High puts you under your twin brother who hates you. This is not a white and black thing. Because if you read back on the history of Esau is not white. He's red. Okay? He's red. But it still has nothing to do with the color because his father was black. We don't have an issue with black people because he loved his father. Him and his father had a great relationship. All right? But there's the source of your hatred. It's a family feud. That's why they make little mockeries in their little Hollywood and all that stuff, talking about family feuds and the Hatfields and the McCoys. They make little things like that. All they're doing is talking about Esau and Jacob. Esau and Jacob warring. And it's actually more Jacob warring against us. Esau warring against us than us warring against him because we've really never had an issue with with Esau. Esau has a major issue with us. And that issue is not going to stop until Christ sets it all out, sets it all down. Okay? So that is the main issue that's going on here. But there's other issues in there, but that's the main issue. All right, so let's go to Psalms 83 and 1. And so there's a worldwide conspiracy right along to our brother Esau, who's called Edom, that has an issue with his brother Jacob. Okay? And that's why they got you thinking black and white. And it's not a black and white thing. It is a family bloodline thing. This is what this whole continent on this earth is about. It's a family feud. All right? The non-peace in the Middle East has everything to do with a family feud. We went into slavery because of a family feud. We was dealing with Jim Crow and lynching in the South because of a family feud all over the earth. That's all it is. It's big, but it's not a black and white thing. So let's stop getting hung on this color. All right? Let's go Psalm 83 and 1.
This is the book of Psalm, chapter 83, verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O AHAYAH. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O AHAYAH. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
All right, stop right there for a second. All right, they took crafty counsel, that tumult, that UN gathering, that large body of dignitaries getting together and figure out what are we going to do with God's people? What are we going to do? That big tumult. And they took crafty. So there's a craftiness about how they're going to destroy the Most High's people. Okay, we're going to destroy them when they don't even know they're being destroyed. They're going to accept it. They're going to accept what we give them. They're going to think it's good for them, but in actuality, it's going to be killing them. That's that crafty counsel. And then he says, So against thy hidden ones. Why are we hidden? One thing is we're scattered all over the earth. And also why are we're hidden? Because we are mixed ourselves with the nations and we are taking our turn. All right? So we can't be identified as Israel on sight. That part of us being hidden. So us, you vagabond Jews that want to vex people on the street, just remember that. These people are protecting your identity as Israel so you don't get destroyed. Because if we all look like Israel, it'd be easier for them to destroy us. So we're hidden amongst the mixing with the people right now. All right? So that curse that we accused was a blessing as well. Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So it says, let's cut them off from being a nation, a family, that the name of Israel, not black people, but Israel will be in no more remembrance. So this has nothing to do with black. Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Okay, now we're going to go through who all's against this. A lot of you guys out there ain't going to know who these people are. But, we'll go, the first two, I'll explain who the first two are. And then the rest of them, we'll just run through it. But go ahead. These are all Middle Eastern. So-called Middle East, I would say. But go ahead.
Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom.
All right, so we know Edom to be our twin brother, who we will identify today as our modern-day Europeans. Yes, you guys out there that don't know, they are twin brothers, okay? A lot of them. Some of them, not a lot of those Europeans, there are Israelites that look like Edomites, but still case in point, from a general perspective, most of those, Edom is, dwelling in the land of Europe right now. But they're Middle Easterns, okay? Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites.
So the Ishmaelites, that's Abraham's firstborn. He had an issue with us because we got the promises from him. He was the firstborn, and the promises went to Isaac, and then his mom got cast out into the desert. Okay, that's our Saudi Arabians. Those guys, those are brothers, the Ishmaelites, Saudi Arabians, Arabs. All right, they know exactly who we are. They won't say it for the most part, not around here anyway. They'll look at us kind of crazy when we're out on the streets talking about it, but for the most part, they know who we are. All right, and the rest of them, they're Middle Easterns. I'm not gonna, explain, but I'm gonna let them read it. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, the Lot.
Okay, Jeremiah 11:11. So these are all Shemitic people, all from the seeds of Shem, except for the Hagarenes. The Hagarenes, they're Hamitic people, but everybody else is Shemitic people. We're coming from the same bloodline out of the ark. All right, all Middle Eastern have an issue with us, children of Israel. All right, all together and consulting on our downfall. All right, so the chief two are Edom and Ishmael, the so-called Europeans and the so-called Arabs. All right. All right, Jeremiah 11:11.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11 and verse 11. Therefore, thus saith the Most High, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they shall cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go, and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense. But they shall not save them at all in the time of their trouble. For according to the number of thy cities were their gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, have ye set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. Verse 14, therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. What hath my beloved to do in mine house? Seeing she hath wrought lewdness with many, and the holy flesh is passed from thee. When thou doest evil, then thou rejoicest. The Most High called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit. With the noise of a great tumult hath he kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken. For the Lord of hosts that planted thee hath pronounced evil against thee. For the evil of
stop right there. Stop right there. So right here, the evil, now all this stuff is going to happen that has happened in the past and is still happening to this day. The Most High has pronounced this evil against us. Now, for all you guys, people out there that, I don't care if I'm Israel or not. They got that in their heart. I don't care about no Hebrew Israelites and stuff like that. Okay, you're going to find out, if you don't understand it from this perspective, it's going to be real difficult. Because if you've been exposed to what the truth is and you want to still follow other gods, hey, you see what happens. And you see how the Most High reacts to it. Okay? So he's brought this evil upon us. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Kasab.
Salaki. Excuse me. We have verse 17. For the Most High of hosts that planted thee hath pronounced evil against thee, for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Judah, which they have done against themselves, to provoke me to anger in offering incense unto Baal. And the Most High hath given me knowledge of it, and I know it. Then thou showest me their doings. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter. And I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered.
There you go. So that's the ultimate plan. Right? Because we're that green olive tree. That they want to cut us off in the land of the living. That our name will be no more remembered. So when it's talking about this plan in Psalm, that's where our name is not to be remembered. So if you're talking about being Israel, that is very dangerous in this world today. Because, you are not supposed to know you're Israel. Okay? It's okay for everybody else to know who they are, but you are not supposed to know who you are. Okay? It has nothing to do with, oh man, we just want to keep the slaves and we're all American now, or we're all wherever else we're at around the world. No, it has nothing to do with that. Your name is supposed to be blotted out of the earth. Okay? That's why you don't know. Alright, but remember, the Most High has pronounced this evil against you because of our sin. Alright, he's allowing this to happen. Alright, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 49. So when that stuff starts to happen, we are not to be out there rioting and all that other stuff, because you got to know where it's coming from. All right? If he's doing it to us, there's nothing you can do about it. In that fashion, that is. There's nothing you can do about it fighting against it like that. That's a battle you're not going to win. All right? Go ahead. Deuteronomy 28 and 39.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 49. The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
Okay, so I want you guys to look at the back of your dollar bill and see where that eagle is from. Okay? He said he will bring a nation against you, as swift as the eagle flieth. Okay? So, this nation that's against you, the Most High brought them against you. Start that over up.
The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Going.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
All right, Leviticus 26 and 37. So this is a heartless nation. They have the propensity to kill, and they have no problem doing it. It's like this second nature to them. It was almost like they were created just to be that heartless. Okay, they have no regard of the children. They don't have no regard of the older people, and they have no regard of you strong, vibrant men. Okay. That's what Most High set us up under because of our sins of our forefathers. So it's getting pretty narrow for us right now. Okay? Leviticus 26 and 37.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 37. And they shall fall one upon another, as it were before a sword, when none pursueth, and you shall have no power to stand before your enemies.
He stripped us of all power to stand before our enemies. So don't even try it. Acts 5 and 38 is next. Don't even try it. You have no power. He stripped you of everything. Who's the most mightiest people on the face of the earth, especially the tribe of Judah. We were the mightiest ones because he gave us the earth. He gave the Levites the heavens. Okay? We were the mightiest people on the earth. He relegated us to not even being able to stand before our enemies. So we can't do it. I don't care how you try. There's no way you're going to match them warfare for warfare. So the rioting, the picketing, all that stuff, strapping up or whatever it is, plans you got to do to fight these people face to face for what's to come in the future, and all the stuff that they're doing, you might as well just stop right now. You're wasting your time, and all you're doing is putting the people around you in danger. So you need to just stop, all right? And do it the way the Most High is showing you in Scripture, all right? So Acts chapter 5, verse 38.
All right, we're in the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 38. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught.
All right, stop right there. All right, so generally this is talking about, the Most High, the people out there on the streets, bringing forth the word. And they're not rolling with the Pharisees, but this applies to this as well, okay? Because the Most High is bringing these people against you, and he's telling you, refrain from these men, okay? Leave them alone, because you cannot, I brought them against you. And if this counsel be of men, if these are men just coming at you, and I have nothing to do with it, you will be able to take them out easily. But the same thing applies, because the Most High did all this to us. He's just telling you right here, refrain from these people. Just that simple. Don't put yourself in a situation where you got to deal with these people. Next verse.
Verse 39. But if it be of AHAYAH, you cannot overthrow it, lest happily you be found even to fight against AHAYAH.
So if the Most High is bringing these people against us because of our sins, and every time we sin, he's going to send one of these people just to jack us, you can't overthrow it. So don't even try. And if you sit up there fighting these people on their level, you're not fighting just against men, you're fighting against the Most High. Because he's telling you, when you mess it up, you're going to have to deal with your enemies. If you don't want to deal with your enemies, you walk that straight and narrow. Basically. It's simple. You're not being taught this because them that are fighting against you don't want you to know this, but that is just that simple. Okay? We're not supposed to buck with these guys. That time ain't here yet. All right? All we're supposed to do is come back to these laws. All right, Romans 11:1. And if you go out there trying to fight and vexing them and doing all that stuff, all you're doing is fighting against the Most High. That's all you're doing, dealing with these people in that manner. Because believe it or not, even dealing with these people, with all the evil that they got devised against us, we're supposed to be trying to reach these people to save themselves and tell them to repent. That's our job. Even though we know that they're set up to destroy us, our job is to still tell them to repent in the midst of them trying to destroy us at the same time. Man, hey, this is what we've been relegated to. You know, the danger. You know, no servant is greater than his Lord. Go ahead, Romans 11:1. This is the good news coming forward. This is the good news.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 1. I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people? The Most High forbid. For I also am an Israelite, of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. The Most High hath not cast away his people, which ye foreknew. What ye not what the Scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to AHAYAH against Israel, saying,
Okay, so Isaiah 54:6. So the Most High, this is the beautiful thing. Through all this stuff that we've dealt with in the past, you look about our just atrocious history, you know, our recent past, and our present, and of course anything that we know is about to happen in the future, the Most High still hasn't forsaken us. He hasn't pulled it away. You know, is it going to be as easy to be living under his protection as it was back in the days of Moses? No. It's not going to be that simple. But he has not cast us away. And only 10% of us is going to figure this out. 90% of us is going to stay stiff-necked and still, you know, do what they want to do, or, you know, be in agreement with the society, or be those lambs led to the slaughter. Because, you know, Israel, we are a stiff-necked people. You know, we don't like truth. We like to just do what we want to do. Okay? Doesn't matter how blessed we can be doing the right thing, we'll figure out some way to how to mess it up. Okay? That's I don't know. This is that's how I've known Israel always to be. You know? Go ahead, Isaiah 54:6.
Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 6. For the Most High hath called thee as a woman forsaken, and grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth. When thou wast refused, saith thy power. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Most High thy Redeemer.
All right, so Hosea 6:1. So here's the good news. He's only upset for us for a moment, just a small moment. He got his wrath on us. He turned his face on us for a moment. But he still, with great kindness, is going to gather us. But we still have to be on that straight and narrow. Guess what? We're in competition because not all of us is going to be able to be gathered. Because 90% of us just ain't having it. Okay, so that's the sad thing about it, because if you're an Israelite, it's almost like wherever you're going to be dwelling, you're going to be by yourself in this understanding, because you're going to be looking around you. 90% of the people around you ain't going to try to hear what you're saying. Only 10% of us is going to figure this out. The Most High is going to pour His Spirit on about 10% of us and say, you know what? I have nothing to do with this society, how they operate, and not dealing with the laws or whatever, because they have devices to wipe me out from the land of the living, and my only protection is the Most High. Okay? That's going to be open refuge. But He's going to gather us. Okay? So you got to just, you got to do it His way. You can't do it your way. You can't do it your homeboy's way. You got to do it the Most High's way. Stop listening to the other nations, and stop listening to those vagabond Jews who just want to go out there vexing people of the other nations. They're going to get you destroyed. Okay? All right, Hosea 6:1.
All right, we're in the book of Hosea, chapter 6, and verse 1. Come, and let us return unto the Most High, for he hath torn, and he will heal us. He hath smitten, and he will bind us up. After 2 days will he revive us. In the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight.
All right, let's go to Leviticus 26 and 40. So the Most High is torn us down. Those other nations don't have the power to do that. If you know the scriptures, they don't have the power to take us down. They don't have it. The only power that they had was given to them by the Most High to do it. It takes a, if you read, you just leave it at that. They don't have the power to do it. Okay, if we were in our natural capacity, they're in their natural capacity, it just couldn't happen. The Most High is too powerful for them to do that. But because we sinned, he's the one that actually did it to us and allowed them to be the vehicle to do it. Okay, so all we have to do is just return. Return to him, and all that will cease immediately. Okay? And it's not that we're returning to him to attack them. We're just returning to him so we'll be able to do the right thing, and then we will be protected from them. Okay? All right, this is how we got to do it. This is what we got to do. Leviticus 26 and 40. Go ahead.
All right. We're in the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, and verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they have trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and then they accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land. The land also shall be left of them, and shall enjoy her Sabbath, while she lieth desolate without them, and they shall accept of the punishment of their iniquity. Because they despise my judgments, and because their soul abhorred my statutes. And yet for all that, when they be in the land of their enemies, I will not cast them away, neither will I abhor them to destroy them utterly, and to break my covenant with them. For I am the Most High, their power. But I will for their sakes remember the covenant of their ancestors, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt, in the sight of the heathen, that I might be their power. I am the Most High. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Most High made between him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses.
All right. Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1 again. So, that right there, I don't really have to say much on that. That pretty much explains itself. Confess your sins, the iniquities of your fathers, turn away from what, this world has to offer, and come back to the Most High's laws the best we know how in these lands of captivity. And then that's when he's going to start listening to you. He ain't forgot. He ain't gonna forget it. He's not going to utterly destroy the children of Israel. So there's hope. There's hope in our God. It's not hope in a gun. Well, I know he says, sell your cloak and get a sword, but they got bigger guns than we can even manufacture. There's no hope in anything else that you can think of. All right, there's a hope and refuge in the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. Those things are our shield. That's our power. Okay, even in these lands that we are in right now. All right, so but that's pretty much said it all. That's all you have to do. Just confess. sit there in your secret closet and talk to the Father and say, you know what, I know what my forefathers did, and I know how I've been conducting myself, and now it's time for me to come back home. And I'm operating as such. All right, so go back to Deuteronomy 28:1.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So if you keep the commandments, you will be above all nations of the earth. Why do you think in these Christian churches they say the law is done away with? And guess who's giving you the theologian doctrine? Especially here in this country. Your twin brother, Edom. He runs your pastors. Okay? That's how the law is done away with. Because if you keep the commandments, you will be above all nations on the earth. So there's a little bit of motivation there. Has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter and all that stuff. Has nothing to do with that. That's a waste of time. A waste of mind energy. All right? Let's go. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and 7.
All right, we have verse 7. Deuteronomy 28 and 7. The Most High shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way, and flee before thee 7 ways.
And this is how you battle these people. Matthew 24 and 3 is next. This is how you battle these people. You keep the commandments, and then your enemies come before you. They will be smitten before your face. Now, of course, are they going to teach you that? Is your enemies going to teach you that? The people that have enslaved you, they are teaching your pastors the doctrine. Are they going to teach you, if you Israelites keep the commandments and they try to come against you, they're going to be smitten before your face? Are they going to teach you that? Okay? See, Christians out there that continually want to uphold that false doctrine of the law done away with, you're killing yourself and you're killing your congregation, because the majority of your congregation is Israelites anyway. All right, they want to keep all you guys sinning against the Most High. All right, this is why they tell you it doesn't matter who Israel is. You don't need to know who Israel is. It's all about Christ. It's about Jesus. You don't need to know who Israel is. You know, because they know if you understood the power on keeping the commandments, they know they can't come against you. All right, so why would you run off picketing with a big sign or running around the streets yelling, no justice, no peace? You're not going to get no peace here. This is not our home. We was brought here as slaves. This is not home. This is our dwelling spot. This is the place where we are slaves. That's it. All right? So there's going to be no justice and no peace here. All right? So all we can do right now is just keep the commandments and wait till things happen and then operate according to how things happen. All right? Matthew 24 and 3. And when I say operating according to how things happen, it's definitely not rioting and picketing in the streets. That is definitely out. Black Lives Matter, cancel that. That's garbage. Go ahead.
This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world?
Okay, drop down to verse 7.
Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
No, color should rise up against color. Black should rise up against white.
For nation shall rise against nation.
No, white should rise up against black.
For nation shall rise against nation.
Nation, nationality should rise up against nationality. This whole cesspool of mess is to get some kind of race war started. That's coming in the future. Yashaya says it. Okay? Nation will rise up against nation. And you are not supposed to participate in that madness. You are supposed to encourage the ones before this stuff gets started, but they're trying to get it going. They're doing their best. They're trying to get it going. It's your job to do your best to have these people, the people you know around you, and encourage as many people as you possibly can influence not to participate. When this stuff starts going up, you cling harder to the commandments. That's your refuge. That's your only refuge. There's nothing else you can do. It's clinging to the commandments, through Yashaya all the way up to the Father and the Holy Spirit. Go ahead, Al.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
There you go. Going back to Jeremiah 11 and 19. All right, so these are the things that's going to happen. And this is stuff that's already happening. Already happening. All right? They're getting it going. You just got to be ready for it. Get that apocrypha ready as well, because we'll have to go into that. All right, back to Jeremiah 11 and 19. So you guys, the nations, guards, of the nations, here, this is what's going to happen if you go out there riding in the streets. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 19. But I was like a lamb or an ox that is brought to the slaughter, and I knew not that they had devised devices against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with the fruit thereof, and let us cut him off from the land of the living, that his name may be no more remembered.
All right, so we're going to look at the wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 10. All right, so you don't know the devices that they got against you. So you get out there riding on the street, they're going to call you a terrorist, and they're going to throw you in these so-called FEMA camps, which we know as concentration camps, because the real Jews are over here. Okay, so the real concentration camps are over here. All right, that stuff that happened back in Germany, that was a precursor for what's going to happen in the future, because we're the real Jews. Okay, so they say hide the name of FEMA, hide the name of concentration camps and call them FEMAs. All right, so they're going to be rounding people up and throwing them in these concentration camps because you're a threat and a menace and you're a terrorist and you're all this stuff because you're out there rioting and picketing and all this stuff, and they're going to bring in their armies and stuff like that. Okay, because you didn't know that they had devices against you. So they'll be able to wipe you out from the land of the living. It's going to be an ox led to the slaughter. Why is he calling you like an ox or a lamb led to the slaughter? Because those are dumb animals, especially the lambs. A lamb could see his lamb brother get sliced right before the slaughterhouse and walk right in behind them and get sliced himself. And that's how our people operate. All right, we do the same thing over. All those riots that you've seen in the past and all the marches that you've seen in the past, all that stuff is to get you encouraged when you got an issue or you got a problem with the destruction of society, that you can protest by going out there and acting a fool in the streets. And you won't get hurt that way. Okay, yeah, you do that at the wrong time, at the wrong moment. Which these are the days of the wrong time and the wrong moments to do those things. That's when they're going to start rounding you up. Because the funny thing is, the people around you, they're going to be begging for the armies to come and get a lot of you guys that's going to be running around doing these things. And they're going to be supporting it, not realizing what they're supporting is you being destroyed. And being totally annihilated, getting thrown in concentration camps. They don't understand that aspect of things. They're just thinking that they're just getting the problem off the street. And the problem, people breaking into people's houses and things like that, which is going to be happening. You don't want to be nowhere near none of that stuff. All right? Because you're going to be that ox led to the slaughter if you participate in any kind of way. All right? So we go on. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10.
All right, we're in the book of Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
All right, so their strength against us is their laws, because you see, we're not setting any laws. That's, we're not setting, we're subjected to the laws that they bring forward. So anything that we do naturally as a people, we resist certain things naturally, we operate certain ways naturally, they're calling it all a crime. Then you got pre-crime. Okay, if you look like in your DNA that you could potentially, do a crime, that's a cause to throw you in jail. Okay, they got all this pre-crime stuff, all that, it's crazy. That's their justice against you. All right, so you can't even be nowhere near this stuff. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraided us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy the transgressings of our education. He professeth to have the knowledge of the Most High, and he calleth himself the child of the Most High.
We are the children of Israel. We are called by his name. Go ahead.
He was made to reprove our thoughts.
We are the judges. We are the judges. We were made to reprove their thoughts. We are made to get them right. That's our job. Go ahead.
He is grievous unto us, even to behold. For his life is not like other men. His ways are of another fashion. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that AHAYAH is his father.
Absolutely.
Verse 17. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of the Most High, AHAYAH, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things that such things they did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness hath blinded them.
All right, Genesis 49 and 8. So right there, the Bible's telling you what these people are talking about. You don't even have to have a conversation with any of these people or sit down, or the Bible explains, tells you their conversations. All right, they probably have them more in detail, but this is basically the structure of their conversation. They have an issue with us saying that we know the Most High. We're their children. We're created to reprove how they operate. All of their education, we know their education leads to nothing for us, especially us, and so on and so forth. They have an issue of our total existence. All right. Judah, so-called black people, the ones that's out there talking about Black Lives Matter. You think about it. Go in a circus. A circus, and you deal with a lion in the circus. He's not like a regular lion. Well, you look at how a regular lion operates. Pretty much what a regular lion does, all he does is fight and eat. And lay around. Lay around, fight, and eat. That's all a male lion does. Okay? But you go over there in a circus with a lion that's not even in that capacity, and you keep poking a stick at that lion. The lion that's pretty much just kickback. If that's what the lion's going to just rip your head off. You don't bother the lion's not going to bother you. And he's going to spend most of his time laying around anyway. That's how lions operate. For us, so-called black people, or African Americans, all right, or from the tribe of Judah, we have the same spirit of the lion. That's the Most High. He likened the spirits together. So if we want to understand a lot about ourselves, study the lion. If Naftali want to know a lot about himself, he needs to go study a deer. If I want to know a lot, know a little bit a lot about himself, go study a donkey. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Spirit the Most High put in us. Okay, and we can study these things and we can see how we operate. All right, so this is what's happening right here. All right, Genesis 49 and 8.
All right. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thy enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Verse 10, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
All right, so he's saying Judah, Matthew 5:25 is next. He says, Judah, the brethren shall praise. So right off the bat, it's telling you, our brothers, the rest of the Israelite tribes. All right, there's 11 other tribes out there outside of Judah. So outside of the so-called African Americans. So once we start getting out of control, the rest of the tribes follow. Okay, that's why they're always picking at Judah. When they want things to get done and they want like chaos everywhere, they're not going to go around messing with Issachar. They're not going to mess with Naphtali. They're not going to mess with Zebulon. And they're not going to mess with they're scared of Levi. They don't even want to come near Levi. And so Levi is on a whole different level. But, you know, as far as us other ones, they're going to come after us because they know once we start going, and they know it takes a while for us to get going. Because a lot of times you can just bother us and we'll be like, man, I mean, let us Judah on Judah. Judah on Judah, we'll be quick to go at each other instead of what a lot of cats do anyway. That's how cats operate. But when it comes to other people, we kind of might like, man, I ain't trying to mess with you. I ain't trying to be around that and stuff like that. And then you just do the wrong thing. Now all of a sudden, we're just trying to rip your head off. Okay, that's how Judah operates. So they're just doing that, they're just poking that stick constantly with these false flag shootings and the actual real shooting, just to just keep poking at it. And they know once they get us to just to really set that trigger button and just get Judah go buck wild, they know the rest of the tribes are going to jump right in because, you know, they know Judah's the king. And naturally, when the king rises up to go to war, the rest of the tribes are going to be right there to back Judah up. That's just how it is. That's in our spirit. That's how it's in the rest of the tribe's spirit. That's why he says their brethren will pray. And he said the scepter will never depart from you. It's showing that he holds the kingship, so his brothers is going to look up to him. And once he gets started and gets going, the rest of them is going to follow. So that's what they're doing. They're just poking at Judah because they know to get this race war going and the nation fight against nation so they can bring in their martial law and their armies and their tanks and all the stuff that they're planning on doing to get our people like led to the slaughter. They're just poking at Judah. And then once Judah go buck wild, everybody else is going to go buck wild. Okay, or when they start pulling the foods off the counters and people ain't got no food, you know, and they don't know what to do and then people start breaking into houses and doing all this other crazy stuff, you know, they're just waiting. You know, they know Judah's going to be the one starting it all off. So that's all it is. All right? So they're trying to round up Judah right now to get everything going. So just you don't get caught up in that. All right? Go ahead, huh?
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison.
All right, so next we're going into the book of Apocrypha, again to Sirach, the Ecclesiasticus, Sirach 9 and 13. He says, agree with your adversary quickly. So, you know, how we just deal with the situation. I know it's hard. I know, especially with us, you know, so-called African Americans who are from the tribe of Judah. You know, we really don't want to be in the middle of no mess. You know, we don't really want to be dealing with no mess. We just want to live peaceful, in peace. You know what I'm saying? And just like that lion in the wild, you just want to eat, have this little, you know, little arms around it, and you want to live around all day and stuff. But then when somebody gets up in our face, you know, right off the bat, we gotta set the record straight that this ain't where you want to have any business. I get that. But we gotta learn right now is that turn the other cheek. Agree with our adversary quickly. You know, we gotta find different ways in these days. We can't react to how we used to act when we were in the world. You know, we gotta become righteous men. Our time to be with Yashaya, to do the things that Yashaya has planned in the future, that's gonna be our time. But right now, bro, we gotta agree with our adversary quickly. That's the space. That's the commandment that the Most High is giving us. Christ has given us that commandment right here. Okay, and we gotta learn that. We gotta retrain ourselves not to react to certain things. Okay? All right, so RaWach, chapter 9, verse 13.
All right, this is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 9 and verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city.
All right. So, man, you know, Luke 21 and 20 is next. Yeah, keep thee away from the ones that have the power to kill. Right now, we don't have that power. I mean, we can, but if we do it, you know, we gonna get tossed. We're gonna get tossed everywhere. Everything's gonna come at us if we do anything like that. The Most High is gonna be the main one. Okay. Everybody else behind the Most High don't really matter. But yeah, the Most High more so than anything. But the world, they're gonna throw us in jail, lock us up. We're gonna get everything gonna happen to us. But these other people, these laws that they got on the book, man, they're gonna be able to kill with impunity. Especially us Israelites. And you know, they got things on the books about these doctors. If they give you some wrong medicine or something happens in surgery or whatever, and they mess you up, you can't even sue them. You end up dying or whatever, you sign papers, you can't even sue them or anything. They don't even lose their license. They'd be still operating. We do something like that? Oh my gosh. We're through. And like I said, Most High first and foremost. But with them, they'll throw us in jail, execute, whatever it is they got to do. So what we got to do, we got to stay away from these people that have the power to kill. In every fashion. Whatever it is that they have the power to kill, don't be around it. Avoid it. Okay? We gotta have some serious moves now. We gotta get in our best avoidance mode right now. All right? Don't even be in that capacity. Don't even have conversations. Just, you know, stay low key. All right. So let's go to Luke 21 and 20.
All right, we're in the book of St. Luke, chapter 21 and verse 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too.
Right here is just telling you right there. Man, when these armies start surrounding our communities, and it's not just we see an army here, an army there, or a person there. We're talking about they're out there and they're really being active in our communities. Most Christ is telling us to flee, to run, to move. He didn't say stand up, hunker down, and fight, or challenge them, or we got rights. Bro, you don't have rights. The Constitution was not really for our turn. We have the laws. Our Constitution is this, the law, statutes, commandments. This is the only thing that's for our turn. Anything else is delusion, okay? It's a grand delusion. It doesn't fit. This is the only thing that fits for us, the children of Israel, is the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So don't get caught with these armies, especially when they get all around and you know the UN armies come in, talking about your constitutional rights, man, or UN rights or whatever rights you think you got. You know what I mean? You got a little bit of it right now, but when this stuff gets hot and heavy, you can't depend on those things. The only thing you're going to be able to depend on is what the Most High set for us here in this Bible. And stuff, which we know that they're going to be taken away pretty soon. All right? So you're going to have this in your spirit. It's going to have to be written in your heart. All right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 23 and 7. So in the midst of all this is my last page. We only got a few more precepts and we're going to be done. In the midst of all this destruction that's coming down, because this is what we're set. We set ourselves up to be in this position. We have to take on the responsibility of what happened with our forefathers. Okay? So it's almost as if we did it ourselves. Even with all this coming down on us, we still have a commandment from the Most High. Okay? How to deal with the people around us. All right? Go ahead. Deuteronomy 23 and 7.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 7. Thou shalt not abhor an Edomite, for he is thy brother. Thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou wast a stranger in his land.
All right, for all you guys that don't know what abhor means, it's hate. Even though we know all of this is going down, we still cannot hate him. We still got to show these people love. Romans 12:19. We still got to show them love. How do we love these our Edomite twin brothers who has a propensity to come after us and he's going to try to take us out all the way up until Christ comes back? He's not going to stop. We still warn him. Brothers, twin brothers, turn from that wicked idea that you have that you're going to destroy us because it's not going to happen. You know, lay it down and come back to the God of your father Isaac. Okay? And partake in this kingdom of Christ. We still got to call brother back, regardless of the fact that we know he's trying to take us out. Okay? We can't hate him. We're commanded not to. So all you guys that's on the street vexing who you think is Edom, who may very well be Israel, which is a curse unto yourself if you're vexing Israel out there, you just read the scripture as well. He gave you a commandment not to abhor Edom, even though Edom is trying to destroy us. Okay? That's not our job. Act and move. All right? So Romans 12:19.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12 and verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Most High.
All right, Matthew 5:43 is next. All right, so we are not supposed to avenge ourselves. You know, we got to leave all that vengeance. We were the judges, we were set up, he sent us into the land to judge people, take people out. We didn't like it when we were set up that way. So guess what? We can't do it right now. All right, we lost that right. All right, as the judges of the earth. So we have to sit and wait. That's what we did back then when we were keeping the commandments. Now that we're relegated to running and ducking and dodging and hiding and all that other stuff, these mighty and strong people got to duck and hide from these weaker people. Hey, we got to wait for Christ. And he said, he gave us a promise. He said he will pay. So whatever they got going up against us, don't believe you me. They're not going to get away with it. All right? We just got to have faith. All right? So Matthew 5:43.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 43. Ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he maketh his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sendeth rain on the just and on the unjust. Verse 46, for if ye love them which love you, what reward have ye? Do not even the publicans the same? And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
All right, next is going to be Matthew 7 and 13. So this is what we're relegated to. When these people coming at us, we got to pray for them, do good to them, invite them, if we can, invite them to turn from their wicked ways, repent, stop what they're doing, and follow the Most High. That's doing good. We got to bless these people that have these devices so we can be like our Father in heaven. We got to be perfect as our Father in heaven is perfect. Yashaya, when those Romans was persecuting him and they were being crucified, he could have destroyed them all. Going in, he knew what was going to happen. He could have sent a legion of angels to destroy them. He had the power to do it, and he didn't do it. Okay, he created everything, and so he had the power to take them all out, and he didn't do it. So who are we to do anything different? And then what did he do when he was dying on the cross? He prayed. He said to the Father, says, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." So he still forgave them. So we got to take on this mindset as we're ducking and dodging instead of getting in the streets, rioting and picketing and stuff. Pray for these people and do good to them. Give them an opportunity to repent, even if they got a gun in their hand and walking around in a helmet and bulletproof vest and running around in the street talking about get down on the ground. Still do good and give them the opportunity to repent. Hey, bro, you might want to put that gun away. Probably not a good idea to shoot one of God's people. It's not going to be very good for you in the end, so probably want to turn from that. Okay, that's how we're supposed to operate in these times. All right? All right, so Matthew 7 and 13.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be which go in thereat. Verse 14, because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
All right, next scripture is going to be 2 Chronicles 7 and 14. So he's saying, broad, we all read this scripture before, how it applies here. Broad leads to the way of destruction. We got to get on the straight grade. We, as the ones that are trying to wake up and try to do the right thing, we are supposed to do the things that everybody else is not willing to do. Okay? Which is getting on that straight path. Use the commandments as our shield. Pray to the Father. Get on that straight gate. Pray for those who persecute us. Do good to those that got evil devices against us. Not abhorring the Edomite. We're going to do all that stuff on that tightrope where everybody else is going to do the opposite. We're going to go with the crowds and do, they're going to hear this false flag shooting over here or an actual real shooting over there, and they're going to be up there going off and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Going on the media talking crazy about it and everything. See, we got to get on that straight path, and we got to forsake all that because he said thieves going to find it. Few of us are going to be doing that. Everybody else, so where you see the crowd, the massive crowds go, you want to go in the opposite direction. Because they're pretty much going to be like the ox led to the slaughter. You see those guys with those femur jackets on, and some just reverse that in your head and look at that femur as concentration. And they trying to guide and lead a bunch of people in one direction to these camps. You need to go the opposite direction. You got to be on that narrow path. I guess I'll be with the Most High. I'll take my chances out this way. Oh, there's danger over there. I'll take my chances with the Most High in this dangerous situation going that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to take the narrow path. I'm not going to follow the crowd. The crowd, there's going to be things that's not going to be happening too good with the crowd. So it's the same thing. Your mindset got to be different than everybody else's. Our direction, everything, you're going to be on that narrow tightrope. It's the kingdom. Start with these laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, 2 Chronicles 7 and 14.
All right, this is the book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7 and verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
There you go. Just got to humble ourselves, pray. The Most High, He's going to take care of the rest. This guy was going to escape all this stuff that's coming, the mark of the beast, these vaccination shots and all this other stuff they got devised against us. How we're going to survive through all of that? We've got to humble ourselves and pray. He gave us no power to stand before our enemies. We can't do nothing else. So we might as well look the only way it's going to work. All right? Last two scriptures. Isaiah, go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, verse 18.
All right. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse 18. And therefore will the Most High wait, that he may be gracious unto you. And therefore will he be exalted, that he may have mercy upon you. For the Most High is a power of judgment. Blessed are all they that wait for him. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem. Thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto you, unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee.
So blessed are those who wait for the Lord, for the Most High. We just got to wait. Got to be patient. Matthew 24:13, last script. Got to be patient. You know, wait. We can't go out there, do it our own self, getting into these Black Lives Matter stuff, getting into that mentality, that mindset, which is going to lead to nothing. We've got to escape from all that, okay? And just wait and be patient and have faith that the Most High is going to do what he said he's going to do, okay? We just got these very set, narrow paths that we got to walk to be protected through all this stuff that's coming down the pipe, okay? Because anybody and everybody that is perceived to be Israel to them, they're coming after it. And I'm not talking about just the tribe of Judah. They're going to come after all the tribes. They just got to get Judah going so they get the rest of the tribes going as well. Because they know the rest of the tribes ain't going to go like that until Judah does. All right, last script.
All right, this is the book of Matthew, St. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved.
All this stuff that's coming down and everything, we got to endure it. We got to endure. We got to endure the persecution, the threats, the fears that they try to come up on us, all the devices that they got against us, knowing that they're going to try to take us out, and us still in the midst of them trying to take us out, sitting up there trying to reach them and try to get them to turn from what they're doing, being nice to them, humble and all. We got to endure all of that. Unnatural way of being. All that unnatural stuff is not naturally in our spirit and stuff to do. We're a nation of kings and priests. We're not getting used to dealing with all this, but this is what we got. We got to endure it now. And the ones that can endure it and be obedient and faithful, those are the ones that are going to be saved in the end. Okay? And that's what we got to shoot for and stuff. So once again, just to close it all out, Black Lives Matter stuff is not what we should be focused on, because these people don't have a problem with black people. Their problem is with the children of Israel and anybody that sympathizes with the children of Israel. Okay? So with that being said, I would say Shabbat Shalom. All praises to the Most High. AHAYAH Yashaya, in the name of wisdom, RaWach Kadash. And I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your Shabbat. Shalom.